probably been wondering how Google Drive could help you and your clients or you and your team collaborate. Let's talk about how to share in Google Drive, what everyone sees when you share, and what the benefits are to your company today on Tuesday Tech Training. Hi, and welcome to Tuesday Tech Training. My name is Jennifer Stewart. I'm a digital productivity trainer and owner of Gateway Productivity. Today, I want to teach you all about how to do sharing in Google Drive. And a lot of people get confused by this because there's a lot of different elements, there's a lot of different choices. And so I want to walk you through the different types of sharing you can do, and then what the person sees on the other side when that's shared with them. There's a few options for sharing, which are viewing, commenting, and editing. And I'll show you each of those and some examples of what that looks like. And then we'll talk about some of the benefits of each as we go through. The first thing we'll look at is the different places that you can share from. You can share from within a document, and you can share without being inside the document. Let's see how that looks. First, I'll show you what you're going to see when you open a document and you share from inside of it. So we'll open this one here. You can see within this document, there's a big blue share button in the upper right-hand corner. When you click on that, you have the option to do your sharing. And we won't do it from here, we'll do it from the other place, but this is where that's located, and you'll see the steps here in one moment. Before we leave the document, I want you to see that when you hover over the share, you can see who currently has access to the document. And at this point, it is private to only me. We'll look at this button again later to see the different options that you will see for shared documents. Now, if I would rather share the document without having to get into it, I can click on the document once. Remember, a double click will open the document. Click on the document once, and you can see this whole menu appears above. I'll do that one more time so you can see it. I click away and the menu disappears. Click the document, you have all these different options. And the one we're interested in today is this little person with the plus. That means share. Once you click that icon, you'll get a box that pops up, and this is the exact same box we saw when we were sharing inside the document. The first thing we'll look at with this window is our settings. This is important for you to know where it is and what's located in there. That is the gear icon right here, and so this is the settings for sharing specifically. Once I click the icon, this new box pops up with two options. And you can see either editors can change permissions and share. You can turn that off if you choose. And viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. If you don't want anyone to be able to download, print, and copy but the editors, you'll want to uncheck that box. Now for the steps in actually sharing the document. Here's where you can put in an email address, or if it's someone in your contact list, they should pop up when you start to type their email address. Now I've selected who I'd like to share the document with, and you can see there are some options here. The most important is on the right-hand side. This drop-down right here is how you determine what exactly they can do with that document. Right now, we want to do the viewer option. This is when, and you can see here at the bottom, it explains it. Viewers of this file can see comments and suggestions, but they can't make any comments and suggestions. They can't really do anything to the document. They can only see it. The next thing we want to look at is this checkbox here, notify people. You can share with multiple people at once. You just need to make sure that they'll have the same level of access. So you want all the viewers to be sent an email at once, or all of the commenters, and so on. By leaving the box checked, those people will receive an email that will tell them the document's been shared with them. You can choose to put a personal message in here, or you can leave nothing in there and it will just be the basic statement that a document's been shared with them. Let's put a message in this one so that you can see what it looks like. We'll bring it up in the email. Now that I have my message written, I can click on send. Here's the email that person will receive. You can see here, they're told that the document was shared with them. Here's where that message comes in. And if you didn't have anything in there, it wouldn't show anything. They can either choose to open the document here and it will take them into the document through Google Drive, or they have the option in the bottom right to just download it directly to their computer or get to Drive in this way, and they can add a shortcut to their own Drive straight from this link. And lastly, they have the option to go in and click this Edit with Google Docs and go straight into the document, which pretty much does the same thing as this Open button. And in this case, it's a view only, so they actually won't be able to edit the document. Let's see what a document looks like from a view only perspective. When you make someone a viewer of a document, this is what they'll see when they receive it. They'll see the document. Here they will have a button that says to request edit access. If they feel the need to request that access, they can send that to you. You can see with the share button that they can see that it's shared with others, and let's click on that to see what happens. This is what happens if that person wants to share with someone else. They have to ask for access since they have view-only access to the document. Now let's look at sharing a document with commenting capabilities. This time we'll share directly from inside the document. So again, reminder that I click the share button. Currently this is not shared with anyone, only I can see it. And we're going to choose who to share it with. And I will click on that. This time that person knows that this is coming, so I'm going to choose not to notify them. They don't want to receive the email. And then I want to make sure that I move this to commenter. What commenter means is that this person can make comments and suggested edits to the document, but they can't actually edit it. Once I click on share, this document will automatically show up in the shared with me area in my Drive for the person I'm sharing it with. If you have questions about the shared with me area, this area here on the left-hand side, then you can watch our video that is all about organizing the shared with me area. And I will put a link to that in the notes below. Now let's look at a document that has been shared with commenting rights. You can see the key difference here is that you have a little box that says you are suggesting. So that is a note that says you're not actually making edits, you're making suggestions. And up here, something we haven't talked about yet is this option or drop down right here. And let me move my picture so you can see this better. You can see that this person has both viewing and suggesting options, but not editing capabilities. That's one place where you can go and see what kind of access you have. And then in this case, we could click the share button. Remember that commenters and viewers do not have the choice to share with other people, only editors. So this is another one where the commenter in this case would need to ask for permission to share the document. When a commenter begins working on a document, this will add notes and it will keep everything that's deleted, but show suggested edits. So let's say we thought that this whole section needed to be deleted. You can see that this does something similar to Microsoft Word with tracking changes in a document. And let me move my picture so you can see fully what's going on here. Here is the suggested edit on the right-hand side. And then you can also make comments and things in here, reply to others. If you want to tag somebody specific who is editing the document or commenting on the document as well, that's what that @ symbol means. There's lots of options that you have available here. The suggester has the option to decide, oh, that's not what I meant to do, and click the X to close that out and take it off. However, only editors have the choice to accept suggestions. And you can see when I hover over the check mark, that's what it says. Only editors can accept suggestions. If a commenter wants to add information, this is what happens. You can see it creates a green box around the change. And once again, we have a suggestion box on the right-hand side where people can converse about it. And also the editors can choose to accept the suggestion. And another great feature of this is that it does tag who made the suggestion and exactly what time they did. So if there's a confusion about who saw what when, that can all be cleared up with the timestamp. One last difference I want to point out that the commenters have versus the view only, the commenters do have full access to all of the editing capabilities up here. And so they can fully make what looks like edits to the documents, but they're really suggestions. The final option we want to talk about when sharing is the full editing option. So let's see what that looks like. I'll go down here and click on my document. My menu pops up here, and I want to choose share. One thing we haven't talked about to this point is this bottom section that says get link. If you choose to copy the link and send it on your own to people, you want to make sure that you change this that says change to anyone with the link. Right now, this is restricted to only be available to people that you list in this section and that you either send an email to or have it automatically show up in their shared with me. But you can choose to get a link to a document and then open it up to anyone. Let's click on this to see what it looks like. Now you can see the box changes. Here's where we get our link. We can copy the link here. And this is where we can change the option for the people who have the link. They can either be viewers, commenters, or editors. The key thing to remember here is that whatever you choose, all of those people that use the link will have the same access. In this case, I want to keep the document private, so I'm going to switch this back to restricted. Now you can see it still leaves you in this area to get a link, but the link won't work unless that person has been added to have access. So let's click done at this point, and we're going to go back in and look at some more of those share options. Now that we're back here, we can look back down here. It's switched back to change to anyone with a link. So we know it's restricted again. And now I can go back to adding the person that I wanted to add. In this case, I see that that person's already been added. They're in there as an editor. That's perfect. And if I needed to add anyone else, I could do that. And we would get the typical page that we're used to seeing. Now let's see what it looks like for someone who has editing access to a document. Someone who has full editing capabilities on a document sees everything pretty much like the owner would see it. They have this drop down here and they have access to all of these things. They also have access to share, and they have full availability to the editing options. And if they delete something, you can see it actually gets deleted. The last thing I want to talk about is the benefits of collaborating in Google Drive. You saw a lot of them as we were doing our sharing, but let's go back over some of that. You have the option for people to just view a document. So if you need them to review it, but then that you want them to email you any comments they have, you have that option. You can have someone comment directly inside the document and make suggested edits. And then you have the full editing capabilities. If there's someone on your team you need to work on a document, you can share it and have them edit it directly. If you have a situation where someone makes an edit to a document and you need to get to a previous version, there is version history in Google Drive. We won't cover it in any more depth here, but that is something that's available to you. Another benefit of collaborating in Google Drive is being able to share a link with anyone as long as you change the settings. And another big benefit of using Google Drive to collaborate is you can put those shared documents right in with the rest of your documents and organize them together, which you can learn more about in our video about organizing your shared documents. Have you had a light bulb moment from this training? If so, please let me know in the comments below, or if you have a question, you can put that below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You can also give the video a thumbs up, or you can share it with someone you think could benefit from the information. And don't forget to subscribe using the red button below. And if you click the bell icon next to that, you'll receive notifications each week when new videos are posted. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.